All right, so I'm very excited to introduce you to our first speaker, Hans Dahlström. In 1998, Hans co-founded Starbreeze Studios, which produced games such as Chronicles of Riddick and The Darkness for the Xbox and PlayStation. Starbreeze went public in 2000. In 2005, Hans co-founded Hansoft, which makes planning and collaboration software for large agile teams. After a decade of rapid organic growth, Hansoft is now an integral tool in almost all major games development projects, and it's also used by large industrial companies like Ericsson. In 2015, Hansoft raised money from Creandum and Hasso Plattner Ventures to build the next big thing in collaboration. Today, Hans is going to tell us about building this app with Meteor, while sharing 98% of the code between web and mobile. Please welcome Hans.
Thank you, Alice. So yeah, my name is Hans Dahlström, and I'm here to speak about our new product, Hansoft X. So we are actually based in Sweden. We also have an office here in San Francisco, and we're about 35 employees today. We currently have a product line called Hansoft Enterprise, which is used by companies like EA and Capcom. So we come from a little bit of a different background because this product is written as a client-server kind of C++ thing, and we raise money with the help from Creandum, who is one of the first investors in Spotify, and has a Plattner Ventures to build the next big thing. And that next thing is going to be building an ultra-responsive collaboration app for the enterprise. Like Alice, you mentioned, it shares 98% of the code between web and mobile, but still it's really, really fast on mobile, almost like a native app. So we're going to share some of these experience building that with you guys. So what did we want to build? We want, can I ask the audience, how many of you have used a tool like Trello or Asana or Jira? Okay, everybody. So if you're familiar with these collaboration tools, this is how we view the market. You have tools that are really, really simple to use, like Basecamp, Asana, Trello, all great tools. You have tools like Jira, Rally, version 1, and Hansoft Enterprise, which is a bit more perhaps complex to use and maybe a bit slow. So we want to build something that could handle the complexity, but still was really, really simple to use. So basically, we wanted to build this, which is our new product. And we wanted to build it really, really fast, obviously. We're a growing company. So we are a growing company. We have our investors on board, so we want to see rapid onboarding of users and companies. So thanks to Meteor, we could do this really, really fast and really build a robust, responsive, high-quality product. So without further ado, I'm going to give you a little demo. So this is how the tool looks like when you go sign up. It has boards and what we call idea lists and backlogs. So if I click the plus sign here, I can create a new board that we can track tasks on, and say Dev Team 1. And I add a couple of tasks that we're going to work on. Task 1, task 2, task 3. Add a column called selected to add a status, and I move that first. This looks pretty familiar, I think, to a lot of you. Basically, it's a board where you can track tasks, you can add and remove statuses, you can take these cards, you can drag them around, you can click them, add people and tags and start and due dates and so forth. You can also add backlogs like this. Just click the plus sign, you can add a product backlog. And here we can add larger initiatives, like some big feature. Another big feature. And very, very easily, we can click the plus sign here to break it down. So we can have like a sub-feature, another sub-feature, and break it down infinite number of levels like this. Task 1, 2. And the cool thing now is that from the backlog, you can take one of these cards and commit it directly to the team board. So now we can track what we do from the backlog in the team board by looking at the status here. So when I take the card and I drag it from selected to doing, it updates in real time on the backlog. I can also take a card from the team board and back commit to the board, to the backlog, so I can see the status from the team board into the backlog. So what do we want with this? Well, if I add another board here for marketing, like this, marketing, for our marketing team that can track their campaigns and emails and conferences they're going to do, I can give it another color. And now they can add their tasks here. So by this, we really want to merge marketing, demanding developers, IT, operations, executives, merge them into one big tool that they can collaborate side by side. And for example, we can add a company backlog of things we want to do. And we're going to add something, a large initiative at our product company called Product X. Now we can take this card and we can commit it to both the marketing board and to the team board. And now we can track when the dev team moves and the marketing team moves, we can track the status from the company backlog. So, to show you a real-world example, this is our own team board at Hansoft. So the whole company now at Hansoft runs the tool, marketing our operations and IT. So this is one of our development teams that works on this product. So you can see here they have added the bugs and features and tasks they're going to work on. For example, this is a bug that they're dragging into our team board. So you can attach files, you can see a tags, critical, it's for iPad, and so forth. And here you can see the release that we've been working on, called the August release, which is in the backlog. We're working on the GitHub integration. So here you can see, for example, a breakdown of the GitHub integration and all the cards we're working on there. And down here you can see another initiative, for example, the performance tester we're working on for testing the performance of the Meteor. Also here is our IT and operations. This is in Swedish, so it's hard to understand for you guys. But it's really, really nice to see marketing and IT and the development work side by side, because now we can share our goals and see a very, very transparent way with the company. So we have built this product from bottom up to be 100% mobile. So we think it's really, really important now, the next coming years, that we go fully mobile for these kind of tools. And as you may know, some of the more complex tools of the market doesn't have very good mobile support. So I'm going to reflect back my iPhone like that. And now this wanted to update, of course. So I'm reflecting my iPhone back to the screen now. So we have been really focusing on building our Meteor app for mobile and make it really, really fast, almost with like a native performance. So for example, here's a to-do list. So all cards that are assigned to me gathers up in the to-do list. So I can scroll here, I can take a card, pick it up, and change the order of it. Change view between show all and unfinished tasks. I can go to the newsfeed. I can scroll there and page in more stuff, just like the Facebook newsfeed. And the whole meat of the application is the part that is called collections, which is very similar to the main view you see in the background. For example, you see the team board there and the August release. So if I go into the August release and pick up a card, you can see it syncs really, really fast between mobile and desktop. And when we show this to the companies using this tool today, they think this is really, really good. And this is thanks to Meteor, because Meteor syncs really fast between, different clients. So I have, like I said, the full application here. So likewise I did on desktop, I can go in. I can go into a backlog item, like this. And all of this is written in just plain HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and with Meteor as a core. So we actually believe that you can build once and deploy everywhere. But we think it really, really works. The nice thing now is that we can build for Android and Windows Phone and everything. And when we fix a bug, it will be fixed everywhere. If we do a feature, the feature will be everywhere. So that's pretty nice. So if I go more here, we have like real-time search here. So I can search for a card that we're working on. I can click it, see all the details, like that. And also I can do full like user administration and so forth. So now I have someone who is collaborating with me that happens to be the CEO of Hansoft. So we can both be in the same tool. You see there updates in real time. Let's see who's going to do something here. So I can add a card as well. Say test. That. Go in. Name it. So Patrick just showed a board there, so I can go in, and executives like to see reports, so I just go into a board and I click reports. And now we can see some data on our board, distribution and cumulative flow. So that's pretty nice. So back to the presentation. So in building this, we had some quite interesting challenges. The first one was keeping a mobile interface ultra responsive. It took a couple of weeks or maybe months to figure out all the quirks with iOS, Safari, and getting it really fast. And one thing that we do is that you see the core navigation screen there with the new news and so forth, is that we actually keep the templates alive in parallel. So we render them all at once, and then we show and hide them depending on where you click in the interface. This is a pretty basic thing we do. It's one of many things we do to keep the interface fast. We have a blog post out at hansoft.com/blog where we detail all the tricks that we have tried to do, that we did to make it fast. The other thing is that we don't use Cordova, because Cordova can't use the WK web view for iOS. And we need the WK web view as an iOS to get up to 375% more performance from JavaScript. So that's a recommendation if you're doing your own mobile interface. It makes all the difference, really. And this is because of a bug in iOS, so it's not Cordova's fault. The other thing that we've been working really hard on is scaling the backend. And actually, yesterday, the engineers in Sweden completed a thing with Meteor that makes it scale in its core much more better horizontally. Because there's a problem with Meteor currently that when the server load increases quadratically, we have like an omega n squared problem with the number of users performing operation at the same time. So basically, it's related to the number of writes the user do and the number of servers. So yeah, when we did performance testing, our server died at like 100 plus concurrent users doing things in our performance tester, but now we can handle more than 1,000. So we solve this by splitting users into channels. In our case, the channels are the organizations that they work on, our customers. So for those of you who are familiar with how Meteor works in the back end, you have subscriptions. So instead of going through all the subscriptions on the server when, for example, the uplog changes, only the subscriptions that are related to the actual channel will get updated. So we are in talks with the Meteor core here, how to give this back to the community and share our learnings. So we'll see when and how this is get done. But we think this is really, really important because everybody here wants to have really good scalability of the app. So our app is deployed and live on the App Store. Please try it out. It would be awesome to get your feedback. We haven't launched yet. We actually launched next month, but we already have about 500 companies signed up to use it. It's free to use, unlimited time, unlimited users. We have detailed all the things we do with the UI on the blog, hansoft.com/blog. And yeah, that's it for me. If you have any questions.
Thanks. All right, questions for Hans.
So the question was, what do you use for UI framework? We just use jQuery UI. We leverage that as much as possible, but nothing else. We roll our own, we don't use Bootstrap or anything. We roll our own as much as possible. Yeah, I mean, it compresses the JavaScript down to 150K nowadays. I mean, I use it here in San Francisco on the 3G network. I didn't see any problem with that.
Could you repeat the original question?
Sorry. The question was if the initial load on the phone was reasonable. And like I said, we use it here in San Francisco on the 3G network, and we think it's reasonable. So the question was, what tools do we use to diagnose performance problems? On the server side, our engineers has hacked some thing with a node to use Node Inspector somehow. So that doesn't work plain vanilla. And it also been quite cumbersome to track performance. Do you mean on the server or client side?
I mean both.
Client side, we use Chrome mostly to track, timing things and stuff like that. So the question was if we implemented something that makes it don't have to go through the entire oplog. It's rather that we have written a system that sits in between the oplog and Meteor. So right now, as soon as something happens in oplog, it hits Meteor immediately. But our system makes so that the subscriptions that are relevant to that channel gets hit instead. So I don't know if it answers your question, but. Yeah, so Cordova was not ready because of the performance aspect. The UI web view uses, the old UI web view uses non-accelerated JavaScript. It doesn't compile it, it just reads it. So it's up to 3 to 4 times slower. So obviously Meteor is very JavaScript heavy, rendering in the templates and everything. So if we would have had that in this presentation, switching views and picking up cards and stuff like that would have been much slower. So
what you did was just creating all the views. What was your solution?
No, we just use WK Web View in iOS. That was available from iOS 8 and onwards. So the question was if we use Mongo server side. We use Mongo 3.0 WireTiger, which I think now comes out of the box right with Meteor when you install it. But we needed to use WireTiger because it has concurrent read and write. So we think that was good. But we also now, with this horizontal scalar solution, we have Redis to coordinate between different Meteor instances. So we use Redis pub subsystem. So, sorry, yeah?
Last question.
Yeah, my question is, do you guys plan to support offline mode on mobile?
We'll see. We're investigating that.
You repeat the question?
Sorry. Do we want offline mode for our app? And the question is, we definitely want that, and we are investigating. We haven't found a solution yet.
All right. Thank you so much, Hans.
OK, thank you.